Behind every successful ministry are people who make things work. For the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the man at the helm of affairs is Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar as minister. He has been piloting the affairs of the ministry for over 19 months. Transforming agriculture in Nigeria this week will focus on the tenure of the minister so far and how he has been able to steer the ship. What impact has he made in changing the narratives of agriculture for the better? This will be our focus on this episode. I'm your regular host, Gabriel Ojile. Keep watching.
Provide the necessary policy direction that will truly position agriculture as the mainstay of our economy.
The federal government is removing obstacles and offering opportunities for self-employment, wealth creation, and food security in the Nigeria's agricultural sector.
Think farming, think agriculture.
Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria.
Transforming agriculture in Nigeria starts off with news from the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, its agencies and other stakeholder involvement in agricultural development in Nigeria. Stay tuned and be enlightened. The International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, recently held its country's Strategic Opportunities Programs Consultations Workshop in Asaba, Delta State. The workshop, which is aimed at designing a plan for 2024 to 2029, will review IFAD's agricultural intervention programs in the country towards empowering more smallholder farmers in the South-South region of Nigeria. Stakeholders from Delta, Edo, Bayelsa, and Cross River states, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, IFAD consultants, civil society organizations, financial institution representatives, private individuals, and farmers participated in the workshop. Addressing participants at the workshop, Chinwe Onyebula, IFAD consultants said that the gains of the federal government and IFAD interventions within 2016 to 2023 had informed the review and regional consultation to plan for 2024 to 2029. Chinwe stated that the strategic objective of its interventions is to enhance smallholder farmers' productivity, profitability, and access to market, and foster the economic empowerment of rural youth, women, and people living with disabilities along agricultural value chains, among others. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development recently celebrated the retirement of one of its directors, Ngozi Odunze, who was a director in the Department of Agric Extension Services. Speaking during the ceremony, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar, congratulated the director on her retirement and commended her impact on the ministry.
I appreciate you very much, and I'm happy that I'm here today to help you celebrate moving on to the next phase, life after retirement. And you know, retirement is not the end but the beginning. A lot of things can happen after retirement. We thank you for the services that you have put in the ministry, in the country, and I believe what you have done will have lasting impact long after you have left the service.
Also speaking during the occasion, Mrs. Ngozi Odunze appreciated the minister, the permanent secretary, the directors, and other colleagues for their good working relationship and for honoring her in her retirement from the civil service.
All of you are my friends. We've worked together and we have cherished one another. If I start naming, I don't know how many I will call and leave the other, because we have one thing or the other. I have one thing or the other with each and every one of you. And I want to tell you, for coming here, leaving all that you are supposed to do, to come and honor just a little me. May God honor you also.
Other directors in the ministry congratulated her and wished her well in her future endeavors.
As we celebrate our own today, celebration will not cease in next March.
Welcome back. On 1st September 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari announced Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar as new Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. How has he fared so far? Our next segment will give you highlights of some of the activities of the minister and how they have impacted on the food security and job creation drive of the ministry, and by extension, the country. Sit back and watch.
Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar assumed office on Wednesday, 8 August 2021. In a handover ceremony witnessed by the top management team of the ministry, the minister said his leadership will give priority to livestock transformation plan, research, extension services, and agricultural mechanization to ensure peace and food security in the country.
The priority of this ministry under my leadership will be to ensure that we provide the necessary policy direction and drive that will truly position agriculture as the mainstay of our economy, as captured in the medium-term National Development Plan and Mr. President's vision of uplifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. In this regard, the livestock transformation plan will be a priority due to its implication not just on food security and nutrition, but its overall impact in curbing insecurity in the country. In addition, research and extension services will be strengthened to ensure that best practices are translated into concrete deliverables in the agri and livestock value chain. We will strive to promote synergy among the agencies and departments of the ministry. Our agencies must collaborate and work with relevant stakeholders in achieving our mandate.
To actualize these set goals, in September 2021, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar, embarked on a familiarization visit to departments and parastatals under the purview of the ministry to know more of the agencies and departments, their mandates, achievements, and challenges. The minister visited Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Agricultural Quarantine Service, Nigeria Agricultural Seeds Council, Bank of Agriculture, Agricultural Insurance Corporation, Cooperative Department, Strategic Grain Reserve, Rural Access Mobility Project Office, Rice Mill, Federal Cooperative College, Kaduna, Soil Science, Fertilizer and Soil Testing Laboratory, Kaduna. Other establishments he visited include Federal College of Agriculture and Animal Science, Northwest Zonal Office Complex, Kaduna, Pest Control School, Kaduna, Pest Control Laboratory, Kaduna, and Federal Ministry of Agriculture Store, Kaduna, amongst others. During the visit to the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, the Honourable Minister described the agency as the central nervous system that can transform agriculture in Nigeria.
Research is one of the key priority areas for me. And I can equally tell you, even when I spoke with the President before coming to the ministry, he also mentioned research.
At the Agricultural Seed Council, the minister urged them to ensure the monitoring of production of agricultural seeds to ensure that those who bring adulterated seeds to the market are stopped. He promised to support the council to do more and described seed as very critical to agricultural transformation.
You reap what you sow. So it's all starts and it happens here. If you plant, if you sow a quality seed, you reap quality product. If you sow a bad one, you know what you will reap. So this is a very important agency that has to do with everything about agricultural production.
The minister was also at the Bank of Agriculture headquarters in Kaduna to learn the achievements of the bank and to address challenges in order to make agricultural loans more accessible to farmers, processors, and others in the agricultural value chain. The minister pledged to work in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria and other stakeholders to recapitalize the bank to make more funds available for agribusiness.
Incidentally, I was with the Central Bank Governor yesterday, one of several visits and sitting that I intend to have with him and all other stakeholders, collaborators, to get this bank back on track.
And it's an absolute must for us to get it back on track, because agriculture is everything.
In the area of agricultural research, the Minister has provided the necessary support in ensuring that Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Amendment Act 2021 was signed into law. The law has refocused agricultural research, and the Council now has radio and television stations to communicate agricultural research and innovations to farmers. A brief on the Ministry's efforts was disclosed to pressmen during the presentation of the Ministry's scorecard under this administration.
This is quite good, and the Ministry will do everything possible to support the ARCN.
The Minister also disclosed that in the area of crop production, the Ministry distributed nearly 15,000 agricultural equipment and inputs such as improved seeds and agrochemicals to farmers across the country.
We have also distributed about 920 metric tons of improved seeds. We have the Nigeria Seed Council, and their function is to make sure we have good quality seeds, whether being produced here or coming into the country for planting. Again, it goes back to you reap what you sow. We have distributed agricultural machines, over 14,000 of those. We have also distributed 67,000 liters of agrochemicals and about to about 1,397,000 farmers nationwide.
The Minister, during the input distribution in Jos, noted that the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively affected the agricultural sector. And to mitigate the effect of the pandemic on agricultural production, the Minister designed programs, one of which is the distribution of agricultural input, such as improved seeds, growth enhancers, sprayers, and farm equipment to smallholder farmers to support them for continuous production.
35% of this will go to women cooperative groups, 15% to people with special needs, while 50% will go to farmer associations in various clusters.
The inputs distribution in Jos, Katsina, Osun, Kaduna, Taraba, amongst other areas, has indeed changed the face of agriculture in Nigeria, as a lot of farmers got access to improved seeds. Farmers who benefited from the improved distribution speak on the impact on their lives and agriculture.
Most of what you have seen here, especially the crops, they are new varieties. And we're expecting that the best agricultural practices will go, where that will even encourage those who were not opportune to have this to get their own. So certainly it's a milestone, and we appreciate the federal government under the able leadership of Mr. President Buhari.
Also in the period under review, 1,500 palm seedlings, 30,000 certified seed yams, 200 liters of organic growth enhancers, 4,000 orange sweet potato stems, 3,000 bundles of cassava stem, agricultural equipment and agrochemicals were distributed to farmers in Osun State.
So I advise them all to cooperate with the government so that whatever we are giving, we should use it wisely and to boost our economy and to our family and to the whole state, even to the whole Nigeria as a general.
The program is transforming agriculture in Nigeria, and today we are focusing on the tenure of the Honourable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar, highlighting some of the activities he has embarked on, initiatives that he has supported amongst other things. We shall also examine his stewardship in the tractorization policy of the ministry, the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, amongst other achievements. Do keep watching.
In a bid to enhance agricultural mechanization in Nigeria's agricultural sector as promised, the Minister flagged off a public-private partnership tractorization program. The Minister flagged off the scheme in a ceremony at the head office of the Bank of Agriculture in Kaduna. Abubakar stated that the program would be carried out under public-private partnership arrangement and will be targeted at small and medium-scale farmers for increased production, food security, and employment generation.
The vital role of agriculture in the Nigerian economy makes it necessary for the sector to reinvigorate and to reinvent itself through tractor acquisition in order to achieve food and nutrition security. This will lead to improved quantity and quality of food per person, as well as reduced drudgery of farmers in Nigeria. Increasing productivity through tractorization is fundamental to food security, as seen in other countries, especially China.
A geographic information system and national soil, plant and water laboratories were also commissioned in Abuja by the Honourable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar, as part of efforts to mitigate the effect of climate change, soil degradation, as well as enhance food production in the country.
The equipment has the capacity for analyzing large quantity of soil samples rapidly. The 4 laboratories will go a long way in expanding our soil testing capacity. The department should embark on nationwide sensitization of farmers on the importance and benefit of soil testing in crop and animal production.
Also, with the efforts of the Minister and other relevant stakeholders, a new policy called National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy (NATIP) was launched in Abuja by the Minister.
For their contributions,
Abubakar, during the launch, stated that the new policy, which will span 2022 to 2027, would focus more on innovation and technology that would further enhance productivity.
The focus of the National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy is premised on 10 thematic areas of stakeholders' synergy and alignment: knowledge creation and transfer, rapid mechanization, agricultural development and fund establishment, extension service delivery revitalization, and livestock development. Others are priority crop value chain strengthening, fisheries and aquaculture, marine and inland fisheries development, market development, and agricultural land and investment partnership. National Animal Identification and Traceability System.
In an effort to solve farmers' headers clash in Nigeria, the Minister also in November 2022 launched the National Animal Identification and Traceability System for the collection of accurate data on animals in Nigeria and to prevent cattle rustling and farmer headers clashes in the country.
The successful implementation of NAIC will support livestock owners to identify their animals, curb livestock rustling, facilitate interventions in livestock sector, provision of credit and insurance, livestock movement control, animal recording for genetic improvement and research, ease of traceability, surveillance, animal disease control, and enable trade among others.
In a bid to address challenges associated with meat haulage system in Nigeria, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammad Mahmood Abubakar, flagged off the distribution of 36 refrigerated vans to the National Union of Butchers to ensure safe, hygienic meat transportation and delivery across the 36 states of the Federation.
As a government, we are ready to give you all the necessary support in ensuring that enabling environment is in place for you to operate and have a quick return of your investment for the benefit of all.
In order to address the challenges of funding agricultural research, programs and interventions in the agricultural value chain, President Muhammadu Buhari also signed into law the National Agricultural Development Fund Establishment Act 2022, which made provision for a stable means of income to support agricultural development. Tremendous achievements have also been made in the rice value chain development, which include production, processing and marketing, as there is ongoing construction of 10 large-scale integrated rice mill with 320,000 metric tons capacity per day in 10 locations across the country. This will increase production and generate employment as well as improve the quality of Nigerian rice. The Minister highlighted this during the presentation of the Ministry's scorecard.
There are 10 rice mills currently under construction. We just received additional intervention to complete them. This one you are seeing here is being already tested. This is the one at Kwali. And we have in Kano, we have in and Niger. I think some of the states are there. We will be finishing those Ekiti, Ogun, Bayelsa, FCT, Adamawa, Jigawa. There are 10 of them across the country.
Mohammad Abubakar also disclosed that the ministry has established special agro-processing industrial zones across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to reduce post-harvest losses, create jobs, and improve the livelihood of ordinary Nigerians.
Mr. President launched the special agro-industrial processing zone last month. This is really a game changer. The SAPZ, for short, will not only ensure food and nutrition security, but also will create millions of jobs, will create wealth, reduce poverty, will also promote industrialization.
In the area of livestock development, the present administration also developed the National Livestock Transformation Plan to increase animal production to meet the nation's protein needs, wealth, and job creation. The achievements in this area include the establishment of breeder farms, hatcheries, animal feed, grazing reserve development, pasture development, provision of meal collection points and cooling facilities, increased fish production from 865 metric tons to 1.3 metric tons, establishment of fish farm clusters for youths and women, distribution of fishing inputs to farmers, licensed from 84 to 170 fishing trawlers to cover production gap, training of fish farmers on culturing crab species, shrimps, tilapia for adaptation and commercialization.
In 12 states of the Federation to strengthening of dairy cooperatives and provision of dairy equipment. Again, this is all being done under the livestock department, animal husbandry, if you will. Livestock breed improvement, we engage in even artificial insemination and all other forms of making sure that we improve our livestock sector.
The ministry has also vaccinated about 16 million animals against transboundary animal disease. Other achievements under the present minister include construction of agribusiness incubation centers, construction of 35 primary animal health centers and federal veterinary hospitals, rehabilitation of cottage poultry processing facilities, 19 live bird markets constructed, 28 renovated abattoir and slaughterhouses across the country.
We have 19 live bird market constructed. One of the reasons for this, because of the avian influenza, we make sure that is well under control, is being supervised by professionals that can detect and contain, if necessary, any possible disease outbreak. And then, construction of those, we have done that. 28 number renovated abattoirs are very important. Abattoirs, the veterinary department is doing that. Vaccination, absolutely important. About 15 million, over 15 million really have been vaccinated against transboundary animal diseases.
There are various achievements of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, and as the Minister has demonstrated, the commitment to food security, wealth and job creation is unshakable. But this is the much we can take on tonight's episode of the program. Join us again, same time, same station next week for more. I'm Gabriel Ujile. Have a pleasant night rest and bye for now.